Lenos's documents. They detail the Venatori's long-term plans and what they want to do with Tevinter. These star charts predict an eclipse, to make magic stronger.
So that's the play. A ritual performed under an eclipse to strengthen its power.
All this. The ritual, the eclipse, and the Venatori plans. We have to bring this to the Shadow Dragons immediately.
Let's head back. The Shadows need to know about this.
Get the new supplies, will you? Keeping safe? Come back soon. We'll have more.
Evil old gods, rituals, waiting for the stars. It's about as Tevinter as blood magic and hubris. Learning about the gods' plans is wonderful, of course. But the lists of magisters you got your hands on, now there's the real gold.
You've looked at it already. Of course you have.
Information on their backers, the ties to illegal slavery. Don't you see what this means?
This is power, May. Imagine becoming Archon and using this against those who've been hurting the people for years.
You, on the throne? Dorian.
Tell me that wouldn't be a splendid way to bring about real change.
Sounds like someone's got a plan.
Goodness, you make me sound absolutely nefarious. I love it. But yes, if the Venatori can scheme, so could we.
But how would you use this information exactly?
Dorian wants to use it to crush our enemies by whatever means necessary. I prefer to use it to rally the people. I say we make the information known. Allow the people to see the real justice served. Prove that from now on, we work for them.
We tried that already. Or have you forgotten the Lucerni? I no longer trust that political machine will work in our favor. No. We must get at the root of the problem before they can react. A more forceful approach. Destroy them and their networks utterly.
Swords and spies and blackmail? The devious means you learned in the South? If we go outside the system, we invite everyone else to do the same. No, we have to do this in the open. Show the people of Tevinter that we're here for them.
We're Shadow Dragons. It's right there in the name. You supported this because you knew the system didn't work for the people.
The point was to work in the shadows until we could work in the light. And Rook has brought us what we need.
May, the Imperium's politics burned you once and you still...
Enough. We're not the only ones who have a stake in this. Rook, you have been instrumental in all this. Which strategy do you prefer?
Dorian, are you really suggesting violent revolution?
Not necessarily. Sometimes a mere threat of violence is sufficient.
He learned that from his friends in the South. I hear Ferelden settled a succession crisis with a duel.
It worked. Astoundingly.
We're not Ferelden.
I'm merely saying we need to consider bold and creative methods of achieving our ends. The game is rigged. Why play by rules crooked magisters already exploit? Clear the board and start over. If they're gone, we can fill the Magisterium with those who respect the office. Then we'll actually see progress.
What sort of change are you trying to achieve?
For a start, slavery. Abhorrent. It needs to go no more.
And Tevinter has been ruled by the Altus Mages for all of its history. That must change. The Zoparati, non-mages, deserve a say in their own governance.
And all that's just the beginning of what will undoubtedly be a long journey.
Shouldn't you be on the same side?
We are on the same side. We both know what Tevinter needs. How best to get it, that's the question.
If we went with Dorian's plan, I'd support it fully. But we won't, because he'll come around and realize that I'm right.
And I'd absolutely back you up on that, if you were right, which you aren't.
We'll see.
Will we?
Mevaris, you really believe making this evidence public will work?
Dorian wants to work behind the scenes, but once again, it's the Magisters and Highbloods pulling the Imperium's strings. That doesn't inspire. It's a tactic used by our enemies. We need to show Tevinter that we can be different.
Unless they find some way to bury it? Or leverage their wealth, power, and status as they often have before?
Politics is a long game. If we use force against our enemies, our allies will remember it.
You want me to choose who'll be Archon? But I'm not even from here, I can't decide.
Then talk to the ones who are. See what they say. Asher and Tarquin, Nev, Gallus, they're all a part of this, just as you are. We should all be comfortable with whatever course we take.
All right, I'll go do that.
Grand news about Lenos. One less crooked Templar in town.
The city will be better off with him gone.
We can hope.
Lenos made my life miserable. Rana's too.
I hear he started out different. Maybe he once cared about something other than gold. But I didn't know that, Lenos. And I'm not going to mourn the one I did. Still, I'll thank the bastard for writing everything down. And delivering it to us all neat.
Dorian and Mevaris still have to decide what to do with everything we got from Lenos.
Then they asked for my opinion. Can you believe it?
After all that talk about people needing a voice, I'd be looking at them sideways if they didn't.
I suspect this decision will determine Tevinter's path for years to come.
Then Dorian's way is my choice. He knows you don't stop to talk when you find a hole in the enemy's defenses.
Dorian is a brash rebel.
And Mevaris too much of a romantic.
I think the people will appreciate Mevaris returning as the leader they've always wanted to see.
No. They'll appreciate their lives actually changing for the better.
What do you think might happen depending on who leads?
With May, she gets power back again. Gets one more shot at changing Tevinter from the top down. Worst that could happen is nothing. But that's what you risk when all you rely on is hope. But with Dorian...
We could get chaos, strife. Things might get harder before they get easier. If they get easier.
I'll take my chances.
Ugh, this is not helping. At all.
If I'd known you wanted help, I wouldn't have said anything.
Quinn.
What? Opinions are cheap. Sometimes you just have to go where you go.
I have faith, Rook.
Still not helpful. So what do you think?
Lenos is gone. We got information about the Venatori's plans, the god's ritual. I'd call that a good day.
I meant about Mevaris and Dorian. We all want change. Who will be the more effective in getting it?
Oh, that. You're dragging me into it?
You're the famed detective. What's the right call?
This isn't a murder.
Politics is murder. Isn't that what they always say?
Maevaris Talani has been in this game for decades. She's dedicated and ruthless when she needs to be. Dorian Parvis is a wild card. Flashy and inventive, he'll keep his enemies on their toes. But if you're asking me, I'd go with Maevaris. She'll inspire people, show them that the Magisterium can be better than it is. Right now, after the gods and everything else, that's what this city needs. What we all need.
Thanks, Nev. That helps.
That's what I'm here for.
Maker. A full quarter of the Magisterium supporting a cult. Bending the knee to these risen old gods just for a taste of more power. Can they not see they're only tools for the gods? So they can destroy the world?
Demanding intelligence, rationality, and self-awareness from our peers. You ask too much, Maevaris.
Look at me. Such a fool.
Ah, it's Rook. You spoke with the others.
What do you think? Who should be leading the charge from here on?
Dorian should lead.
Then it is decided. Of course, it only makes sense, but... Ha! Look at me! The sudden pressure.
You won't be alone. All of us are behind you. The Shadow Dragons, the city, her people.
It will take all of them to overcome the risen gods.
You'll find a way to bring them together.
The people know they don't want blight-ridden fiends in their city. They don't need me to tell them. I can, however, show them how to fight. Gods, cults, evil magisters, nothing will stand in our way of forging a new Tevinter.
That Venatori stunt with the Darkspawn has me dreading what's to come.
Warden training taught me that when you spot a darkspawn, there's at least 20 more hiding nearby. I never thanked you for helping me with the first Warden.
It was my pleasure. Nothing quite like needling authoritarian blowhards to give one such warm feelings. I must thank you again for everything you've done. Not being overrun with blight. Wonderful. And now we also have hope of changing things for the better.
I did what anyone would have done.
I'm glad you were here to help with the dragon. It could have destroyed the city. Keeping well? Rook! Hello, my friend. Good to see you. Hello, my friend.
Up for a trip to the Cobbled Swan?
Why? What's happening?
Nothing that I know of. With Aelia taken care of, I thought we'd check in. Maybe enjoy the Swan for once?
Have you heard about the Shadow Dragon? Siege of Siconia, back on stage.
Thought the cart was done when the Venatori grabbed me. You did a good job polishing her up.
I was happy to help. Besides, Nev might starve without your cart.
Yeah, well, free fish next time. You too, Gallus.
Sure, Hal. Rana, I've got someone for you to meet.
Right. I'm almost finished here.
Good reading? And here I thought you'd be working our cases.
I got a tip on a red lyrium smuggler who leaves coded messages in the paper. I placed a coded ad pretending to be a buyer. If the smuggler took the bait, I'll know where he's trading the goods.
Secret codes? Amazing. What else is in there? Gossip, scandal?
It's like you've read it already.
There's a puff piece about a cat.
Was it involved in a scandal?
Maybe.
Okay. What are we after?
We're looking for the phrase Virantium brandy.
Got it.
Hold on. What's this? Nev Gallus and Rana Savas, investigators.
Right. That. I may have paid for another small advertisement.
You what?
If we want to help people, they need an easier way to find us. It's approachable.
I regret this already.
That's brilliant. Maybe we should advertise.
Slow down. We haven't seen if this one works out.
There. Virantium brandy. I know where to stop the red lyrium deal. This one, anyway.
Good catch. You might work out after all. Still, I'd prefer you have backup when you need it. And if I'm not around... Rana, meet the Viper. I put in a word for you.
The Viper? You're real. Wait, a word? For what?
Come. It's time you met the Shadow Dragons.
Are you Nev Gallus?
How did you...
I saw your advertisement. I need your help.
Then you're in the right place.
Rana's advertising plan works.
We won't go hungry, that's for sure.
You're impressed.
If it helps people, don't tell Rana. Have a seat. I'm guessing you've got a story.
Your mother learned something new about the tablet?
Haven't talked to her since the big fight at dinner. Hey, we're here. Mother? Tama? Get Isabella.
It might not be hers.
You think I don't know what my mother's blood smells like? Get Isabella. Tell her to find Cutter. Tama.
No sign of your mother. Cutter's gone too.
He was here. I caught his scent. He took her.
Then we know who we're hunting.
And killing. Why did he go after my mother?
There were letters from the Dragon King in his room about your mother and about the tablet.
Since when does the Dragon King want the tablet? He's been after Tosh.
The tablet's about Tosh, about fire breathers. It's why Shathan's desperate to decode it. In exchange for the tablet and Shathan, the Dragon King will turn Cutter into a fire breather, like you.
That's Vashadan!
Sounds like it's time to pay a visit to the Dragon King.
We found a map in Cutter's room. He's holed up in a dormant volcano to the north. It's full of old mining tunnels. Getting inside might be a challenge.
We'll handle it.
We'll all handle it. Cutter betrayed us. When you go in, the Lords will have your backs.
Thanks. Let's go.
We're here. How should we proceed, Tosh?
We find someplace Cutter and my mother were. I can track them from there.
You sure you don't want to head straight for the mine? Isabella said the Dragon King was there.
We find my mother first. She might be somewhere else. I'll kill Cutter and the Dragon King once she's safe.
That boat over there. It could be Cutter's.
Maybe. Let's look. She was here. So was Cutter.
You can track them by their scent.
Scent, tracks, whatever it takes. Cutter's not getting away.
We've got on, Tom.
Were they sent by the Dragon King?
My priest! My mother!
So the Dragon King has her.
Not for long. Hey, take a look over there. She was here.
Did they pass through here? They've locked the door behind them.
I'll make us a path. Good. Come on!
You okay, Tosh?
I'm fine!